morning to a freezing cold house. Came downstairs. We had kind of a windstorm last night. Opened up my furnace and up here inside the little area here, there's a blinking light that gave me an error diagnostic code of a 31. First, I wasn't sure if that was a 13 or 31. Later, after some Googling, found that you actually follow the short pulses first, so it was blinking quickly 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a long pulse one time to make 31. So if you, on the back panel of my furnace, there's a bunch of different service and status codes, and when I came to this one, it said something about pressure switch did not close or reopen. So after a bunch of Google searching and different maintenance techniques, some of the things that I did was cleaned out this condenser trap. So I removed this rubber nozzle from the plastic here, grabbed some pliers, undid each of these tubes, took this condenser, rinsed it out with some soap and water, and there was quite a bit of debris in there, hooked it all back up and thought it might work, turned it off, turned it back on, nothing happened. So I came back, then I ended up cleaning these tubes, cleaning all these different tubes, the interconnects, and what I found was the actual pressure switch here. Wasn't sure if it was working or not. I had one replaced in the past. Here was the old one. It was kind of sitting off to the side here, so I thought maybe that was the issue. What I did was I removed this portion of the pressure tube, this pressure tube, and I blew in on it. And when I blew, I could hear a very faint clicking sound, and that told me that this pressure switch was still opening and closing, and that wasn't the issue. So after cleaning all these different tubes, I actually thought, okay, there's one tube here that goes to the back. I thought maybe if I removed this whole blower unit, I could get access to the back. And there's some screws here that I attempted to remove. Got some of them off and realized this is a larger project than I wanted to deal with. And that's when it kind of occurred to me that I could remove this side of the tube, which I did, gave it a good blow on it, and I could feel something was lodged in there, and there was some backup pressure. And once I gave it a little bit harder blow on the tube, it dislodged. And so this was actually the issue, this green downflow or horizontal right tube that is coming into the pressure switch. Once I blew on that, it dislodged something from the back here, and right away this thing fired up. So there's a tip for anybody who's having this issue. This took me about 3 hours of diagnostic, different cleaning, all sorts of different tubes, changed the filters, did all sorts of things. I'm obviously a novice, didn't know anything about this. This just routine Google searches. Even tried Q-tips. Some people had mentioned if you remove these, you can put a Q-tip into the hole there. I did that, and you could see even some debris from that. But ultimately, it was the back end of this tube, giving it a good blow, dislodged whatever was in there, and saved me a lot of money from having somebody have to come out and fix this. So hopefully that helps somebody else. Once it fired right up, and then I saw the